Yeah, we're not done yet. I'm a machine today. I'm a machine. No, it's just one of the reasons I'm splitting these up into separate videos is that if you're a fan of the Flyers, you're not going to want to listen to me drone on about the Canucks. If you're a fan of the Oilers, you're not going to want to listen to me drone on about the Leafs. Or at least a lot of them aren't. So because fans are fans of teams, I'm going to post videos for each team and try to keep them short. This is for the Oilers. Edmonton's better. I don't care what the hockey news says, Edmonton's better this year. Edmonton's better because they have a backup for Talbot who has NHL experience. Brossoit may be the goaltender who leads the team in a couple of years. For now, they need a capable backup, and Gustafson's proven to be just that. He outplayed Rask at points last year for Boston. I know because I watch Boston games. Um, Early in his career in Toronto, I nicknamed him Gustafsiv, and I laughed my ass off every time he allowed a bad goal. Then he went to Detroit, and suddenly he wasn't Gustafsson anymore. Suddenly he was a good goaltender. And I realized that it was Toronto's defense making him look bad, much like the problem Lou had in Vancouver at times. And he looked good in Boston too. Now, I don't know what to expect in Edmonton this year because the blue line that I've got here still scares the crap out of me. But up front, wow, first line, and this is opening night: Lucic, McDavid, Puljujarvi. How can you not have Lucic on the ice, McDavid on the ice, and Puljujarvi? Puljujarvi's your steal of the draft. Lucic is your big, you know, everybody goes bonkers free agent, and McDavid is the centerpiece of your franchise. So they have to play. They have to play together. Second line, ooh, that left wing is brutal. Because Benoit Pouliot, who when he played in Vancouver or played in Boston, I called him Chicken, because it's close to poulet, which is French for chicken. And I used to drive this house nuts every time he touched the puck. I'd be like, "Go Chicken! You can do it, Chicken!" And it I was really upset when Pouliot left the Bruins. I don't understand why he's bounced around the league so much. He scores timely goals. He's a good player. He's not he's not a key guy, and that's why I kind of look at the second line and go, because Pouliot is more geared to being a third line guy and an energy guy, and having him with Nugent Hopkins and Eberle, I know Eberle should be first line. May end up being first line. I still think on that opening night they have Puljujarvi out there just for the optics. They're doing the same thing as Toronto. They're trying to say to their fans, it's not last year. Things are getting better. So you don't want to truck out Nugent Hopkins, Eberle, and Maroon as your first line. Maroon I've got on the third line. He can easily move up to second. Maroon doesn't score a lot of points, but he doesn't hurt you either. He played first line minutes in Anaheim and didn't hurt them. So he is a more useful guy than he looks. And I'm sorry, but Lucic, Maroon, and Kazhin in the same lineup, get ready for some suspensions. But Maroon, Draisaitl, and Yakupov, and this is where I'm going to take some flack. I don't think Yak gets traded. I just don't see that Edmonton's going to get back what they value Yakupov at. I think Yakupov, they have to be asking too much, otherwise he would have been traded already. So Yak makes the lineup. And right now Edmonton fans are just bashing away at their keyboards, but this is opening night. And I think they give Yak a shot at, the third line and see what he can do. Maybe him and Draisaitl have some kind of chemistry and they can roll four lines. Because the fourth line I have Hendricks, Letestu, and Cashin. That is a line that's going to punish people. That is a line that's going to put pressure for the puck. Now, Cashin he's a wild card. Cashin, I would see flashes for a few weeks in Vancouver that this guy was a dominant power forward, followed by a month of nothing. And sometimes he'd start really well, and then he'd tail off at the end of the season, and sometimes he'd start like garbage and then play really well in the second half. And I don't know which Cassian you're getting right now. Zach is an enigma, and not really in a good way. Why is my phone ringing? You know what? That's some spam number. Was yesterday. Some asshole spam number. Don't make me look for my phone. It's a spam number. I know it is. It's going to make this video longer, and then people are going to be like, this video is too long. I don't have the energy to pay attention for that extra time. He's playing around with his phone. It's funny, I have to have a hot chick on my phone, but I thought, you know what, I'm the hockey guy now. So it's a Boston Bruins ice girl. So I would not be opposed to, you know, for an early birthday present or Christmas present, call me. Yeah, it's the same fucking number. Okay. I gotta block that number. Anyways, and I checked online. It's a spam number. Okay. So with those 4 lines, stupid phone. The extra guys I have are Sleepashev. I might be butchering the way I say that name. I know Oilers fans are excited about this kid, and understandably, but there's so many good young players in the team already, and they're going to give Yak that shot. And Yak will be up in the press box in weeks, and Sleepashev takes his position if he's not off to a good start. And Pekarinen is the other extra for me with the Oilers. On the blue line, and this is where it gets tough. Larsson's number 1 by default. Clefbaum is on the right side. Sekera is second pairing, and I think he'll produce better there than he did on the first. And I have him with Darnell Nurse, and Nurse needs to progress, and he needs to progress as a clean defenseman. If he gets another suspension this year, then you're looking at him having a reputation with the league, and things just get worse from there. And then the third pairing, my God, you guys need a defenseman. Brendan Davidson and Griffin Reinhart. And I have Griffin Reinhart in there because, again, they're selling you on hope for the future, and they're going to give Reinhart a shot out of the gate to make the team and do something. Osterley and Fane are the guys I have up in the press box on opening night, and either of them go in and take the place of Griffin Reinhart when he flops again. This is Reinhardt's last chance. If Reinhart doesn't make the NHL this year and doesn't make a name for himself, I really think it's done for him as premier prospect. I think he'll be in Jared Tenorti, Brendan Gormley land, where he's just a cast-off. Adam Clendenning. These defensemen are easy to find, and they're hard to motivate, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. Because if Reinhart doesn't stay in this lineup, that's not a great blue line. Come on, Edmonton. This is why they talk about moving out a forward. I mean, if you move out... Shit, who do you move? Because if you move out Eberle, then you got to put Sleepashev in a top spot. And that's tough. You've already moved out Hall. Do you really want to move out Eberle too? There's nobody on the left side teams are going to want. Do you want to move Draisaitl? I don't want to move Draisaitl. I'm telling you right now, from what I saw in Edmonton games last year, I like Leon Draisaitl's game more than Nugent Hopkins. I think Draisaitl's game has more to offer than Nugent Hopkins. I think he's a better all-around player. And I think his upside is fantastic. And him being on the third line is borderline criminal. Vancouver, he's a number 1 center. I love the Sedins, but Draisaitl, if he was in Vancouver, I'd be penciling in as number 1. Especially opening night. And then in net, it's Talbot and Gustafsson. Because, of course it is. Who else would it be? Yeah, fantastic. This is a lineup that can move up the standings, but they need help on that blue line. I can totally see now why Demers was coveted, because if they'd got Demers, they could have moved Nurse down to third pairing with Davidson, and then I don't have to put Griffin Reinhart in this lineup. And then I can talk about how with Larsson and Demers, this team gets better. Edmonton's getting better. Chiarelli has a plan. It's going to take a while to get there, but I don't think it's as far off as other people think it is. I think it's 2 years. I think if this year and next year and at the end of next year, you're looking at potentially a playoff team that can make some noise. Because if all those young guys get into the playoffs, and if you have Lucic opening up space in front of the net, and if Cashin can get his head on straight, telling you that Cashin, if he gets his head on straight and plays to his potential, he can be a 20 goal, 100 point, 100 assist guy, or 100 assist. No, 100 penalty minutes. He can score and play tough and not cost you the game. I'm talking tough penalty minutes, roughing, fighting, and just general shit disturbing without crossing that line. And he's crossed that line quite a bit. And Edmonton fans, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's rough when you're cheering for a team and then you see a dirty hit thrown by your team. And I've never understood most fan bases, you'll see the fans going, well, he should have kept his head up, or it wasn't that bad. I know in Vancouver, when Aaron Rome fucking flattened, it was Horton, I believe he flattened and put out, I was disgusted. And then I see Canucks fans like, well, it wasn't that bad. And it's like, yeah, no, it was. And you just woke up the Bruins. Congratulations, guys. You just pissed Boston off. And that was the turning point in the final. And it wasn't because Rome got suspended. Frick, Aaron Rome? That wasn't, it might have made Vigneault cry because Vigneault loved Rome. But it was the fact that the Bruins woke up. The Bruins were relatively asleep throughout the final until that hit. And it was like you could just see all the Bruins get 6 inches taller after that. Like, oh, you're not running our guys. You want to play that way? Awesome. We're going to start taking some guys out. And Boston was tough enough to do it. And Vancouver had no answer. So Cashin could do that as well. He could throw that hit that you go, well, it wasn't that bad if you're an Oilers fan. And every other fan in the league says, oh, he's still the same Cashin. And it can backfire badly. Really can. Because for as many massive hits that I've seen turn a game around, and I'm talking about Willie Mitchell and Jonathan Toews, which to this day is one of the greatest hits I've ever seen in my life. I think Mitchell was coming out of the penalty box, and Toews is just, booking it up the ice, and Mitchell just flattened him. And it was clean. And you can look at that hit from numerous angles. It was a clean hit. It was freaking nasty. But it was a clean hit. Bieksa was good at those hits too. Yeah, I miss that defense. I really do. I miss Mitchell and Bieksa in their prime. That was fun to watch. It was fun to watch a game where once or twice a game, you'd be pulled up to your feet because of some clean hit that your team got. The Oilers are looking for that. That's why Lucic is in the lineup. That's why they picked up Maroon, and that's why they picked up Cashin. They want that effect. But I don't know. Lucic has crossed that line. Maroon's been suspended before for hit, I believe, and I'm not researching it, but I believe Maroon's been suspended for a hit before, and Cashin I know has been suspended because I'm a Canucks fan. So it's going to come down to coaching. McClellan's biggest challenge this year is going to be get these guys up to the edge, but don't let them cross it. And opening night, you'll find out whether or not they cross it because they're going to be fired up, especially Luch. He's going to have all this energy to prove to his fan base and the new team that they're fantastic. So we'll see. We'll see if the Oilers are on their way up or if this is more spinning their wheels. I just can't see how it could be. There's never been a free agent to sign in Edmonton on Lucic's level. There really hasn't. And for them to get the luck of the draft with Puljujarvi falling to them, this is a good year for Edmonton. They just have to get that blue line turned around. How does that even happen? Boston's was bad enough, but this is bad too. Of course, Boston's the worst part is that they all got a high cap hit too. Oh, Boston. Must I always wax philosophical about how much you piss me off? All right, so that's the opening night roster for the Oilers, and on a season that I think is going to be pretty interesting. It'll be the most positive season Edmonton has had in probably about 10 years. So it's a low bar to set, but I think they can reach it. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.